Hello, chess lovers. I am back with the second game of the tournament, Azerbaijan Chess Championship preliminary stage. I was playing against Ahmadzade Ahmad, International Master. And yeah, last year I had an encounter with him, and he started the game with d4, d5, I think knight f3, knight f6, c4, and we played Catalan, and I won an easy game. So I was expecting him to play first move e4, but he came with d4, d5, bishop f4 with London system, and I had an interesting idea for London and I was like, maybe it's time to try. So we went for this line. I played the rare move knight to h5. I think it's quite an interesting one, although I must say that there is some danger. With this line, it's quite complicated. But anyways, I was like, probably I know better than my opponent. So he played bishop e5, f6, bishop g3, queen b6, queen c2, bishop d7, and bishop d3. I think this was an incorrect move. I think bishop e2 or maybe d takes c5, one of those moves would have been better. The thing is that it is quite interesting that this position I play with reverse color. So in order for you guys to understand what I mean, let's go over to this position, d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6. Let me go pretty fast. Bishop g6, and here queen b3, queen c7, bishop d2. I mean, there are many ways to play. So here I usually play bishop e7. If you pay attention to this position and the position that occurred here, like, I mean, if you can think reverse color, it is almost the same. Obviously I am with black, so I am a tempo down, so it is better, I think, to put bishop on e2 like in the previous position. So basically in some variations there could be knight d5, knight d7, so it forces black to make a decision either to take g3 or play g6, one of this. So instead he played bishop d3, and then I took cd. And here I thought maybe knight d4 would have been more accurate for him, but he did take ed. And now you will see the difference between bishop on e2 and d3. So if bishop was on e2, I thought that I wouldn't have had this option to play g5, which I could play in the game, and I did. So now if bishop was on e2, let's say, now, I mean, I don't know if this difference is interesting for you guys, but for instance, if I played here g5, he would have knight d5, knight g3, and knight d7. Because now bishop on d3, he cannot play knight d5 because I can just grab the knight and there is no attacking from e2 to h5. Anyways, so we went very fast to this position, bishop e7, and it was tempting for him to play rook he1, but I think it was a mistake which he did. I mean, I think Ahmad wasn't very familiar with this position overall. I think he should have tried to play something else like queen e2 or king b1, but he went rook he1. Now I took g3. After hg, his rook would have been active if the rook were on h1. So the difference is that now rook on e1, even though looking good, but doesn't do much. So I play king b8 with idea rook c8. So he went king b1, a5, trying to create some weaknesses on the queen side, knight c1, h5. So here he decided to trade the queens, and because I guess he was scared of my potential attack on his king, so he offered the trade. He took ab, h4, g8. So this was a nice idea. I was getting some, I wanted to get the h file, open file, and I thought this position would be much better for me, which engine also supports. Now f4, rook h1. Until this point, I think I almost played a perfect game, almost. And then, at this point, I started making some kind of weird moves. I think I should have just played knight e7, prepare against knight d3. If he plays knight d3, now I can play rook g2, and the other rook comes to h2. So he has only one idea, to play knight d3 and just stop the idea. Instead, what I did, I played b6, knight d3, and again, here I could have played knight d7, king c7, and all the moves are fine, but instead I played rook g2, allowed him to play f5. The problem is that I thought, like the move that I played in the game, I thought this position is simple win for me, but then I realized when he played f5, it is not that simple, and Engine suggests that I should have played e5, d, e, fe, but I wasn't sure how to react after knight c1. My d5 pawn is hanging, and Engine says just give up the pawn. Play king c7, rook d5. Here I have knight d7. Oh, I attack d5 and f5, then I can grab f5 pawn, and oh yeah, if I saw this king c7, knight d7 idea, I would have played, and position is much better here. But I don't know, you know, how they say, mistakes never walk alone. So in this position, I should have just played king c7 with the idea that if he plays f5, now e5, and even it is better version because king is defending the bishop and everything is perfect, and this is just winning. So I made an error here, ef, he went for this. But the good thing is that he was very low on time, he didn't know how to react. So apparently, he should have taken b6 pawn, which was the only way for him to equalize the game. On the other hand, it is not easy to understand knight b6. The problem is that now I thought I could play rook g2, knight c8, rook h2, and it looks like there is some danger, but nothing. It says nothing here. a4, and rook comes to e8, I cannot even play a3, so knight a5 I have to play. Knight checks, king c7. There are some checks, and Engine finds some kind of perpetual here as usual. So after knight b6, if I play f4, this was my intention actually. So what he didn't like that after d5 I have knight d5 option, which is winning for black, and I was gonna play f4. Okay, he said, Engine says just take c8, rook c8, and apparently there is enough activity for white, and is gonna stop those pass pawns. But it was very natural to take on f6, eliminate at least one of the pass pawns, but apparently this is just a bad move. f4, d5, knight d8, d6, bishop b6. Here he spent all of his time and couldn't came up with a good defense. I was afraid of this knight e4 move in the game after rook g2, knight g5, bishop. First I thought that I have to go rook h2 here and accept the draw after knight d6, rook c2, knight d8. Yeah, this was the sorry, king a1, king c1. There was mate for c2, and this is just draw. But then I realized that here I may have more than one options, like playing bishop d7, rook e7, and bishop c6. After the game, we looked at this position and we didn't know how to continue. Now Engine shows the d7, and still some game need to be played. Well, if he played this, I would have also considered rook takes c2, king c2, bishop f5. You know, if king c1, I can play rook g8, and then these pawns are moving. I don't know if white can stop. So position was already very difficult after he took the f6 pawn rather than b6 pawn. So here he played rook d2. I pushed the pawn. Bishop e4 was a big blunt. I mean, okay, the position seems like practically undefendable. So he played bishop e4. He blundered that after rook f8, knight h5, rook h3, knight g7. I can play bishop d7, and knight is about to get trapped and he cannot do anything, and my pawns are marching. So he played knight h7, but now I can play rook f2, rook f1, rook g1. Here resigned, white resigned here. The problem is that if he plays rook d1, I just grab this and I play bishop f5, a strong move. Knight f8, bishop e4 check, king c1, g3, and g2, f1. The position is winning. So yeah, it was a overall, I guess, nice game. I could have played much better. I mean, the ending part, like where I played rook g2, I think until that point I played very well. You know, some mistakes happen. I'm glad that I won my second game, so 2 out of 2. Let's see let's see how my tomorrow's game gonna be. It seems like the pairings automatic. I'm gonna play against Saduko will be Grandmaster. So come back tomorrow, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I will do recaps every day. Take care. Bye bye.